A Wanton Century. 16th century France had a special relationship with Wantons. They were judged by Father Ian's acolyte, who had been released from church service for his deranged and foolhardy actions. He was frequently seen running naked in the house of God. After many complaints by the congregation, the priest demanded that the council remove the acolyte from the parish. Aware of the condemnation he was about to receive, acolyte Platoni sent a letter bearing the priest's seal to a secular magistrate requesting he himself be declared the authorized executor of Wantons. Several days later, the priest received a letter whereby the acolyte was indeed proclaimed head executor. Not powerful enough to sway the magistrate, Father Ian himself conferred the new title during church service. The occasion marked the beginning of the greatest persecution of Wantons in French history. Platoni appointed a judge and a lector. The task of the lector was to read a sermon during the last living hours of the convicted wanton. The judge punished the wantons by performing a final sexual act with the perpetrator. They were chiefly girls who were poor, beggars, lovers of Satan, or dabbled in magic. At the time, it was believed that the drought that affected the region was the reason for the great number of convictions. Everyone was convinced that the magic-wielding wantons were to blame for the long absence of rain. The wantons were turned in by parents, spouses, or the local populace. The act of execution consisted of several steps. Wrists were tied together behind the back with a thick rope. The position of the legs depended on the charges: spread for adulteresses, tied to the hands for sorceresses, or with the head between the knees for beggars and the poor. Depending on his mood, the judge would come up with various punishments. Nails were torn, teeth smashed with fists, eardrums pierced, eyes occasionally taken out. He always managed to obtain a confession. After the orgiastic ritual, the wanton was wrapped in cloth so as not to relinquish the demon. The body was then burned and the ashes buried in a simple hole in the ground mixed with the excavated soil. The lector always read a prepared sermon. The text remained unchanged except for identity markings. God created the heaven and the earth and then made man after his likeness. The devil opposed heaven and earth and sought to impart his thoughts to man. Our God recognized the evil plan and cut the devil down from his throne. And so, God ruled in heaven, and the devil ruled the earth. And every man who walked the worldly path turned wanton, but those who dreamed of life everlasting sat down at his feet. And you, victim's name, who took your name from his due, have fallen so easily for Satan's smooth talk and flattery, choosing the worldly path. Have you not heeded the Lord's admonitions? Did you prefer debauchery with the devil to boyfriend, someone who is betrayed or feels betrayed, or God? Did you betroth yourself to the devil, and did you betray husband's name, father's name, or family, or God? Did you prefer the devil's reeking breath to the familiar likeness of God? Victim's name, you have fallen at the devil's feet, and now you must repent before you leave this world. Repent. The tears shed for you in the hour of your death are merciful tears, yet you deserve none. Your spirit will forever roam. Victim's name, forget your family, forget everyone you have harmed. And do not ask forgiveness, for supplication means to grasp for God's garb, not devil's genitalia. May the devil bar you from our grieving souls forever. Your soul is now and will forever be in the devil's arms. The judge performed the rite while the lector was reading aloud. The ritual was based on sexual intercourse with the wanton. Any visitors attending the wanton's final act had to form a circle. Before the sexual intercourse was over, the lector presented the victim with a cocktail, poured straight into the throat with a funnel. The cocktail was Platoni's own recipe, containing copper-dissolving acid used for church drawings and absinthe. With it, the lector offered grapes, fruit of the bourgeois, so that the victim would feel the earthly pleasures for which it was sentenced. Here the wantons began to hallucinate and, in ecstasy, admitted to acts they had not committed. The judge would always proclaim that an act of true exorcism. Enraptured, the judge at times pardoned the victim, but after the deadly cocktail, she would be dead long before his benediction. The lector was a true professional, a private man. He had a son and a daughter, his wife having recently departed for the eternal kingdom. The coy old man felt weary and hoped his son would inherit his sermonic zeal. He began to reveal the tricks of the trade and frequently brought him along to the exorcisms. He would even let him officiate the act occasionally. One day, the lector was coming home with some good news. He had received permission to appoint his son the new lector. When he walked in, he saw his daughter with her skirt up. Her mouth was bloody and she was struggling to free herself of her brother's grip. He knocked his son down with a fist. Then he locked himself in his room. Honorable Platoni, son of God, In the name of God who strives to deliver us from evil, I, a servant of God who composes the sermons to punish those who have betrayed him, must notify you of wantonness in my family. My own daughter is the wanton. Satan has left a sign of their mutual debauchery, 6 moles on her back, which I swear were not there when she was born. The execution may proceed as early as tonight. Yours sincerely, Lector Praetorius. Praetorius sealed the letter and sent his daughter to Platoni to deliver it. She was jailed before she got home. Her execution was scheduled for the following day. Her father read the sermon and gave her the acid cocktail as she was spread wide before the old judge. Finally, as the judge drained his secretions, she tuned to her father and painfully uttered, "Blessed are the words of the sinful." The lector shed a tear for the death of a wanton for the first time. That night, after his daughter's funeral pyre, he fell asleep. A strange heat gripped his forehead and broke his slumber. The skin of his palms was flaking. He was scared. He scrubbed his hands in water until they bled. A glance in the mirror stunned him. A deep imprint of a cross had appeared on his forehead. The lector smashed a paraffin lamp and set his house on fire. The villagers could do nothing to stop it, and the house burned down with the lector and his son inside.